I'm Tig, welcome back to week 7 of me documenting my journey as a guitarist and musician. This week I've just moved back to my hometown of Lynn for a few weeks until I go travelling Southeast Asia for the long run. And so behind me are boxes, guitars, a piano, a bass, the lot. Had to hire a van and everything to move back from Nottingham to my hometown after being there for 7 years. And having all this stuff with me, and prominently with me rather than hung up on the wall where I often forgot about, like the bass for example, and didn't play it for a while, having all this stuff with me in front of mind reminded me of something that I need to get on with, which is going to be the subject of today's video, or this week's video. At the start of this year, I was doing some New Year's resolutions, some goals, that kind of thing, and something I wrote down, which I've never done before, was that I want to release 6 pieces of original music this year, by the end of this year. And when I say release, I mean put them out on Spotify and the other platforms. Now, the reason I want to do this is because I haven't done this on my own before. I've done this in my band before, in my past band, and I have featured on other people's music that is out there, but I've never actually put my own solo stuff and solo songwriting or pieces out there. And I've done so much in the background. I have notes filled with things, files and folders filled with audio and that kind of thing, but I have nothing to show for it. And from the outside looking in, you could just say that I haven't done any of that because it's all private. And so this year I wanted to change that, and I wanted to share some of the stuff that I've been working on. And I have some demos and I've made some stuff in the past on my laptop, but I'm not a producer. They're not properly produced or mixed or mastered or anything like that. And I wouldn't really want to put them out at the moment. So what that means is this year I need to not only record 6 pieces, like I said, I've got lots of stuff recorded, but I need to professionally have produced 6 pieces so that I can actually release them. And what's the first step to that? Well, it's to record them, right? And to record them on my best instruments. Now, in Southeast Asia, I'm not going to have my best instruments. Far from it. I'm going to have one travel guitar, as that's my plan at the moment. Maybe I'll pick something else up out there, but I could have just as much as one mini guitar that is great for playing on the go, but certainly not the best possible thing I can record guitar parts with. So I realized, wow, I actually need to really get on with some recording over the next month or so. And I need to use the fact that I've got my 2 good quality guitars, my good quality acoustic guitar, my bass guitar, maybe even the piano, I don't know, all with me now, and actually record these parts so that when I'm in Asia, I can do the rest. And the bits that I can do abroad, I can do abroad. But the bits where I actually need my gear with me, I need to do now. And so today I'm going to show you me laying down some demo parts, so I need to restring my guitar and things like that, but at least mapping out the rough parts and how things are going to sound for one of the songs that I've written myself this year that I'm going to put out there. And this song, or the idea for this song, came to me at 5 a.m. just one morning. Like I was still asleep. I wasn't up at that time. I just woke up in the middle of the night and just had the idea, and I just quickly hummed it into my phone. And it's kind of funny looking back on it. So here it is now. So you might just think, all right, you woke up, you're humming something half asleep, great. Where does that go? I'll show you where it's going to go. It's funny how one small thing can just be hummed and it could just sound like just someone humming, but actually the idea for it could be far greater, and when fully explored can turn into something a lot more elaborate, like what I just played. So what I just showed you is a result of me recording some bass, some acoustic guitar, inputting some drums, and of course some electric guitar. So let's break down each part one by one that I just laid down as like a demo. I wanted this verse section to be nice and spaced out, and I'm actually really happy with how it's turned out so far. So as you can see here, I'm really just playing the acoustic guitar once or twice and letting it ring for a long time. Couple that with the very staccato, choppy and quick rhythm part on the electric, and you get something that has a good rhythm to it, a good pulse, but is still quite spacious and a lot of room for vocals or drum fills, that kind of thing. And then we have this little pre-chorus bit, nice transition that gets us back into the chorus, and the chorus would be the chords and the riff that I initially came up with. But of course, as a chorus, I want to buff it up a bit, so I added in some extra guitar parts, which you can hear now. There's a couple more that honestly I forgot to record that you might be able to pick out if you listen really closely, but yeah, you can see some of the things I've added here. My idea for it so far is that's the main 2 sections, or the main 3 sections. They'll loop around another time, a couple of verses, and I'm not really sure what's going to come after yet. I guess I'm still writing it. But you can probably guess I wanted to throw in a guitar solo. I thought it would work well over these chords and like almost like a third verse, but it's just a guitar solo. So this is just something that I just improvised now on the spot. It's definitely not perfect. I probably won't even use that specific thing as the solo, but there's definitely some ideas in here that I might take. So here it is. And so that is what I'm working with so far. And this day that I've just documented and showed you is the start of a mini season, or really about a month or so, where I'm going to have to be very on it with planning ahead and recording all the types of parts that I would want to have recorded that I might be able to use in songs that I want to professionally produce later, so that I can do that even when I'm traveling very light and don't have all my instruments with me. So I hope you enjoyed that insight into some songwriting and also some recording, and just my thoughts in terms of where I'm going to go this year with music. If you're even slightly curious about what these ins and outs are like behind the scenes of someone trying to actually push their music career and their guitar progress and their journey as a guitarist forward, then hit subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.